Hi guys, I have a book review for Siren by Tricia Rayburn, and I haven't seen many reviews of this book. I don't know if this is just less well known or what, but this is my review. Okay, so let's talk about this book. First, let us gaze upon this cover. This really is a lovely cover. I really love the shininess. It's shiny even without the library cover on it. I love the way her eyes glow. That is sort of a reoccurring theme in the book. And I think I love the way that she looks sort of ethereal, but yet there's sort of a sense of danger there. I was drawn in by this book because, and I don't think I'm giving anything away here, it is called Siren. This book does involve mermaids, and I am sort of obsessed with mermaids. I have a fascination with them ever since I was little, and I used to go to the bottom of the pool and swim around and pretend I was one. And surprisingly, there are not a lot of good books about mermaids, which is a shame. So I definitely wanted to give this one a shot. So, basic plot. This is about Vanessa and her sister Justine, and their family has been vacationing in the same small coastal town in Maine since the girls were little. And there's a family argument one night, and Justine ends up storming out and isn't heard from again until the next morning when she's found washed ashore. And of course, it's devastating, and everyone just sort of assumes that she fell or that she committed suicide. But Vanessa, who's just completely in shock over her sister's death, is convinced when she sort of finds some stuff out about her sister that makes her realize she didn't know her as well as she thought, that maybe there's something a little more sinister happening. So she goes back to the lake house, and with the help of one of the next door neighbor boys, Simon, whose brother was involved with Justine, they start to sort of investigate. And it turns out that Caleb, Simon's younger brother, Justine's boyfriend, ends up going missing too. So there's all this mystery, and Simon and Vanessa have to get to the bottom of it. So that's the basic plot. So it's not a bad premise, and at first I didn't want to judge this book too harshly. It took me a while to get into the book, but I was also trying to read it during the last weekend of performing my show, so I was picking it up and putting it down, and, that's not the book's fault. But ultimately, this was just not that satisfying a story. There are good moments, and there are really good suspenseful moments and times when I, really needed to know what was going to happen next. So those moments were there. It's just ultimately, it didn't do that much for me in the end. And part of it was because the ending just seemed so rushed. It was almost like the author got overwhelmed by the world that she had created, and she almost didn't know how to expand on it. So she ended up wrapping everything up really quickly so that the climax of the story, happened in 2 seconds. And then it was over, and you're kind of like, wait a minute, that's it? That's all we get? Here's this really interesting, thing that's happening, and all of a sudden it's just done and over. And so, yeah, I was really disappointed by that. Now, I have heard, at first I was thinking, wait a minute, that's the ending? What? But it turns out that this is the beginning of a series, which I guess makes it a little bit better. But ultimately, yeah, it didn't do that much for me. There is some romance in it, and the romance is okay. It does seem, I don't know. There are moments, and that's what I really have to say about this book in general, is that there are genuine moments that make you really like the characters, that make you really invested in the story, but they're just not enough to keep you engaged the entire time. And like I said, at the end, you're feeling sort of wanting, like there wasn't there wasn't enough. So I gave this book 2 stars. It was just, it was just okay. I mean, I wouldn't even go as far as to say I liked it. I just didn't not like it. So yeah, 2 stars, which is kind of a bummer because I really am looking for a good mermaid story. If you guys know a good mermaid story, please let me know because I've been desperately trying to find one. So yeah, that's my book review for Siren by Tricia Rayburn, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.